When does taking your child to school become a death sentence? That's what happened when it came to Romeca Meeks. She was a woman that was taking her child to school and ended up deceased due to jealousy, or was it due to actual fear? We're going to get into that today. Stay tuned for the Mayday Mayhem podcast.
You can call her Mayhem or Mayday. Talk shit, she at your head. I ain't talking bald face. She don't fuck with baby daddies, fucking up the feng shui. Taking care of 4 kids, Sunday to Sunday.
And welcome back to the Mayday Mayhem podcast. I am your host, Mayday Mayhem. Now, you know I love true crime, but this is the type of crime that no one wants to talk about or even think about. We'll be talking about the case of Romeca Meeks-Blackmon that was tragically unalived on September 8th of this year in the South Loop. And what boggles me is no one had to lose their life. No one had to go to jail. And a child went to school with a note from their mom saying, "Have a great day, do your best, I love you," and didn't have to know the knowledge that shortly after that their mother passed away. And it wasn't due to a fatal tragic accident or a freak of nature or act of God. No, it was due to an act of, was it rage? Was it being afraid? Or was it a calculated move to try to make it seem like a victim was here? We're going to get into it. Now, I'm pretty sure some of you know and some of you don't know about Romeca Meeks, who passed away, again, like I said, on September 8th. I have my notes right here. Now, Romeca Meeks-Blackmon was shot and killed in front of her child's school during a drop-off on Monday in the Chicago Loop. That was Monday, September 8th. The shooting took place near Cermak State just after 9 a.m. Now, we know one thing. There is a lot of cameras. Again, these things right here are not only devices that we can use to talk on and get information on, but they're also recording devices. So, allegedly, Romeca lost her life to her child's, let me try to put it in layman terms because it gets a little confusing. Romeca lost her life to her child's father's girlfriend, who also has a child by him. Now, allegedly, there has been ongoing feud between these two. Quadea Johnson, that is her name, but I believe they're calling her Honey online. I'm going to call her Miss Johnson because I don't know, and we know Miss Meeks. Miss Meeks and Miss Johnson share a child's father. It seems that Miss Meeks' child is about 6 years old or so. He's in school, so about first grade, 6 years old. Now, Miss Johnson also has a young child by this man, okay? This is where the division comes in at. A lot of people online, and I do have some agreements with it, that the father should also be charged with the death of Romeca Meeks. This is why. The father of the child was with Miss Johnson. So that means baby daddy was with girlfriend, okay? He knew that Romeca was going to be dropping off her child at school. Now, the way allegedly that it has come out that Romeca had saw them, busted a U, and stopped her car allegedly in the middle of traffic and was trying to fight with Miss Johnson. However, baby daddy was holding Miss Meeks back, trying to stop the fight. It's even been alleged, and videos alleged, that he had her in a headlock, holding her back, pushing her back, allegedly trying to hit her with a car door. Then, allegedly, Miss Johnson runs to the car and grabs a weapon, and then comes back and proceeds to fire upon Miss Meeks, which fatally shot her not once, not twice, but 3 times. One shot fatally in the face. Now, a lot of people say a lot of this could have been avoided if Miss Meeks would have kept going. But contrary to the fact, in my opinion, in my brain, these two have been going back and forth for a while. Probably online, because allegedly this is her first time even seeing Miss Johnson and Miss Meeks even meeting up. And let's not forget, they share a baby daddy. These men start a lot of problems too. We're not going to stop him. These men start a lot of problems, because the reason I say this is because you don't know what he has been telling Miss Johnson, and you don't know what he has been doing or saying to Miss Meeks. Now, allegedly, it's been reported that Miss Meeks put out a restraining order on Mr. Johnson. Okay? Now, let's not get it twisted. I mean, not Mr. Johnson, on baby daddy. His name baby daddy, Carlos. Miss Meeks put out a restraining order on Carlos. I believe in return, Miss Johnson put out a restraining order on Miss Meeks. Now, it's alleged that Miss Meeks never received the restraining order. She was never home. She was never served. And you know, here in Cook County, it's wonky with their court system. I know for a fact. I have been there quite a few times with my own trials and tribulations with Cook County. So I know it's a little tricky. And a lot of people are asking, well, how can she put a restraining order on her and she's never seen her? Because in Cook County, if you have at least 3 parts of evidence that someone is stalking or harassing you, you can go in and get emergency restraining order immediately if you have enough proof saying that someone is stalking and harassing you. Now, we don't know what proof Miss Johnson has. That's for her legal team to back up for her. But allegedly, Miss Meeks had a restraining order against Carlos, which is the baby daddy. So what I believe in return is Miss Johnson went ahead and got one against her. Oh, we want to play that game. You're going to get a restraining order against my baby daddy and this, and the third. That's causing division. Now, Carlos, baby daddy, could have shut all of this down immediately. Whatever conversation was going on between Miss Johnson and Miss Meeks, that could have been shut down immediately by baby daddy. Because, again, these women are fighting each other, but what are they fighting over? Something pillow talk or something that the man has said to make them not like each other. You know, you don't know what he's saying to the other person. You don't know what he's saying to her and she's saying to him, but allegedly Miss Meeks wanted no parts of Carlos. That was allegedly why a restraining order was put in place. Allegedly. We can't find it as of yet. We've been putting in the work looking for it, but there's allegedly saying that she had a restraining order against her. Now, a lot of people think just because you have a restraining order against someone, that gives you the right to walk up and do harm or hurt them. Miss Meeks had every right to be where she was. She was dropping off her child at school. She was not in the vicinity of Miss Johnson. She was nowhere near Miss Johnson. She wasn't trying to intercept Miss Johnson. And let's just think about it. Come on, y'all. Let's keep it real. You've been into it with somebody online, on this little phone, that's been probably calling, harassing, texting, saying all types of wicked stuff to you, saying things about your children because y'all share a baby daddy, and it's a whole lot of BS that's been going on. And finally, you see that person in the flesh. Let's be real. You gonna want to see, is you really tender? Am I really tender with all that shit you've been talking? You know, let's get it cracking. Let's be real. You see somebody that y'all have had an issue with over on the phone, that means that's built up aggression, built up anger, built up. And now you see this person, you're going to want to confront them. We do not know the confrontations that Miss Johnson and Miss Meeks have had prior to this altercation. Because, again, who is the common denominator between Miss Johnson and Miss Meeks? Carlos. If it wasn't for him, they wouldn't even know each other. They wouldn't even know each other. And it's alleged that Carlos, the baby daddy, was holding Miss Meeks back. And it's even alleged that there's a video that after Miss Meeks was shot, allegedly Miss Johnson and Carlos fist bumped. So that makes me question, like, was all this planned? Like, why was y'all even near her? Why was you even in the vicinity of her if you had a restraining order against someone? Now, I've had restraining orders on people, and I make sure that I'm not in the vicinity of them, and damn sure they ain't in the vicinity of me, because I'm nowhere near you. I have no reason to be near you. I have no reason to be somewhere where I feel that my life may be in danger if I'm around this person. So guess what? I'm going to stay as far away from that area as I most possibly can. I have seen allegations that allegedly Miss Johnson lives actually in Wisconsin. That's alleged. Those are a lot of stories that we're hearing. And that she was only here for a couple of days. Well, if you're only here for a couple of days, you don't live here, then why would you be over here on State and Cermak around this little boy's school when you know his mama dropping him off? That sounds like you was trying to maybe get into an altercation so you can use, oh, I have a restraining order on her and I have a concealed carry weapon. Just because you have a concealed carry, that doesn't mean you go around just pew-pewing people. There are certain guidelines you have to follow in order to keep that status of having a concealed carry. Just because you have it don't mean you're supposed to use it like that. Your life was not in danger. Do I believe Miss Johnson's life was in danger from Romeca Meeks? No. Miss Meeks did not have a weapon other than these things right here from what we're seeing. So someone's getting the best of you instead of you going off or running off. And you're fearful now. Let's not forget, Miss Johnson allegedly has a restraining order on Miss Meeks. So she's fearful of her. Why would I be around someone that I'm fearful of? That brings me to a point, like, I personally went through some stuff where someone tried to put a restraining order on someone in my family, and they came up with horrendous lies. And we were able to combat that with the truth and show proof that, no, you've been stalking this family member, and you have been doing the things that you're claiming that this family member did. And the judge, of course, saw through it and denied a restraining order, because some of these women out here want to get a restraining order on you, well, on a person. Let's say get a restraining order on a person. That way they feel that they have the right to do lethal damage to that person if they come in that vicinity or if they're in that area. That doesn't mean you go to them and do something. No, you have a restraining order to stay away from them, so you should be nowhere near them. I don't even understand why Miss Johnson was even near there, especially if you have a restraining order. And let's say, for instance, it's due to the children, and dad is supposed to be dropping the kids off. You let dad drop the kids off because you know that you may run into this woman and you have a restraining order. That's like running into the fire after you've escaped. You've escaped the fire, and then you're going to pour gasoline on yourself and run back in. Like, that seems like you're looking for a problem. You're looking for trouble. And let's not forget, Miss Johnson is 31 years old, and she's, what, 7 months? Well, no, not 7 months, 9 weeks pregnant now. She's pregnant. So now you have this justification of saying, oh, I'm pregnant. I was in fear for my life. But you unalive the woman. So let's go back a little bit. Now, wait a minute. The brain calculation is going through my mind. If you had that little thing with Julia Roberts putting the little calculations, the calculation going through my mind. Now, if she's 7 weeks, 9 weeks pregnant, this happened September. That means you got pregnant after the shooting. And you already had a child by Carlos. So that means you got pregnant after the shooting. And it's alleged that even family pictures were taken for, I guess, Thanksgiving or Christmas or something like that. If I unalived someone that I was terrified of, you wouldn't see me. I'm going to be 100% honest. I'd be pulled out all my hair. I wouldn't have no eyelashes. I'd probably be scrubbed off some of the darkness on my face from crying so much because I'm scared. I don't know what to do. Am I going to go to jail? I'm terrified. I would be terrified. You wouldn't see me smiling for pictures. Christmas, guys. Literally. Like, who does that? Like, a person that's afraid for their life, and me, let's take that back. I ain't scared. I ain't scared. But I have had to take precautions before in my life to protect myself and my family, just in case someone come to me. That doesn't mean I go to you and cause a problem. No, I'm going to stay in my little box, and I don't want no one coming near my box. Now, my restraining order says no one is to step over my box. You step over that box, I'm cutting your toe off. That big toe is mine. That toe is mine, and I'm keeping it, and I'm going to wear it around my neck as a souvenir. Do not step over this line. That is what that is for. Now, if I step over that line talking shit, well, hey now, fair fight. Motherfuckers wasn't that scared. I'm just being 100%. And I see a lot of people online saying, well, oh, Miss Johnson had every right to. No, you don't have every right to pew somebody just because you don't want to throw them things. You know, like, I'm from the time and era where it was best to fight. And if you lost, you just came back and fight again. You know, like, no one lost their life because they were scared to fight. And if you were scared to fight, you made sure you stayed away from the person that's trying to fight you. That would have been the reason for the restraining order. So why would you be around this girl's school? Again, this all could have been avoided. Let's say the fight did break out. You didn't get away. Your baby daddy, Carlos, then subdued his other baby mama. Let's not forget, this is another woman he had a child with. He subdued his other baby mama. If you had enough ample time to run to the car and grab a pew, that means you had enough ample time to run to the car and lock them doors and call 911 and say, look, I have a restraining order on this woman. Me and her just got into an altercation, and I'm scared. You did not have to pull out no pew at 9 o'clock in the morning. Like, I take my kids to school every day. Why do I need a pew to take my kids to school? I'm just taking the kids to school, so I don't think I need a pew. Like, no, I'm just taking them to the school. Like, we can walk there, you know. I don't even bring my nail file with me. Like, I'm just going to the school, you know. So I don't think Romeca was planning on having a fight and losing her life due to gun violence. And let's not forget, I can see if you even scared and you pew somebody one time. But allegedly, Romeca was shot up to 3 times and 1 time in the face. So that means you not only wanted to do damage, you really wanted to unalive this woman. Because even if you wanted to just get her up off of you, or I don't even see how you could get her up off you because you were already away. You ran away and got in a car and came out and God had a pew-pew and you popped her. You could have popped in the kneecap, could have popped in the foot, the arm, the shoulder, why the face? That is what you would call an unalive shot. Why the head? You wanted to do damage. And now it's the, oh, I'm pregnant. It was self-defense. She was hurting me. But she couldn't have been hurting you that bad to where you were able to go to the car, grab your pew-pew, and come back. And you're screaming at the top of your lungs, I have a restraining order against her, and I have a concealed carry. Just because you have a restraining order, concealed carry, that does not give you the right to take someone's life. Miss Meekston, it wasn't a fair fight if you ask me. Did Miss Meeks have a weapon? No, she didn't have a pew-pew. Why did she not have a pew-pew? Because she was taking her son to school. Like, who expects to get into a pew-pew fight when you taking your child to school? I don't. I promise you, I swear to you, I don't. Taking my child to school, I'm just taking my kids to school. I'm not expecting to get into a gunfight with someone taking my child to school. Can we be real? I'm trying to give them an education. And again, what is this? Black on black crime. It's black on black crime. And I come from an era where they say it takes a village. Now, if Carlos was any type of man, this would have never happened, because he would have put the pause on all that. Hold on. You ain't going to put your hands on her, and you ain't going to talk to her crazy. Both of y'all going to be mature. We're going to handle these kids together. We're going to make sure that these kids grow until y'all pipe down. Both of y'all separated. Stop talking to each other online. Don't tell me that your man can't tell you what to do. Your man can't tell you what to do. My man can't tell me. Your man can't tell you what to do. Let's be real. If my man knows that I go 0 to 100, my man already knows. Bring your little ass down here. Sit down. Sit your little black ass down right here. We're not doing that today. I'm going to calm you down. Come on, bring it on down, sweetie. Pop that booty right here. You're going to be quiet and you're going to stop it right now. He's going to know how to tell me, no, damn it, you're going to shut your mouth. And you're going to sit your ass in the corner until it's time for us to leave, because you're doing too much. Why is that? Because he's able to see the outside in, to see that, oh God, she's getting blacker. That means she's getting angry. I am the Incredible Hulk. They do call me that in the house. He's like, they know when I'm angry because I get black. Like, I'm black, but I get blacker. If that's a thing, I don't know, maybe it's the red coming out of me and it turned me black, makes my hue a little bit darker. But yeah, they can tell when I'm angry. Like, even my weave will flare up. I don't know how it happens, but it does. So my man will know, look, sit your ass down, stop all these problems, stop all this drama or controversy, or we're going to have a problem when we get home. And that means he's going to have a stern conversation with me. He might break up with me. Like, come on now. Your man can control you just like a woman can control her man. Baby, stop. Don't do that. You know when your man is going to be 0 to 100. Alfred, will you please stop? Adam, I need you to cut that out. Like, bring it down, Adam. Bring it. Come here, honey bunny. Come here, my love bug. Come here, Pookie Bear. Sit down right here. You know what, sweetie? We're going to go home and I'm going to give you a foot massage. Foot massage. You know I'm talking about that other foot. I know what I'm talking about. Watch he pipe the fuck down. He go like, what? As Glorilla would say, y'all in Atlanta, I'm talking about, that's me. Yeah. He going, let me pipe down. I'm trying to get some neck when I get home. Like, he gonna pipe down. He's gonna stop. He's gonna stop. And again, I hear a lot of people say that, oh, well, he can't. No, a lot of this started with the man. Because if the man would have sat down, Carlos, and talked to these women, look, I have multiple, and these ain't only his only kids. He got multiple kids by multiple women. So that means it takes a village to raise these children because, y'all, let's be real, we are a tribe. They all are sisters and brothers. So now these kids got to grow up knowing, damn, my mama killed, unalived my sibling's mom. Do you know how hard that is on these children? And these kids got to grow up in that. And trying to understand that, why would my sibling's mom unalive my mama? Why? And nobody can explain that. The dad can't explain it, and he was right there. And again, it all could have been avoided. All he had to do was stop it. He could have stopped it. Because everybody is fighting over him. And from what I'm reading, and the text message that I have seen online that I had to do my research, it looks like Romeca, Miss Mills, did not want him. It looks like she was living her life like it's golden, living her life like it's golden. She was living her life. She was a baddie. I ain't gonna lie, Romeca. I had to tell my producer, I'm like, damn, she's fine. Nice chocolate. And I have no problem complimenting a woman. I will compliment a man or a woman like, hey, you nice looking, girl, you chocolate. I'll bite you, girl. You know? And I'm not going to say, and I'm also not going to say that Miss Johnson is a terrible looking woman. They both are beautiful women. Let's get it correct. They both are beautiful women. But the actions that have been perceived makes it ugly. Turns it into an ugly situation, and it makes you look at one person differently. Because again, Miss Johnson would still be out. Miss Johnson would still be enjoying her life if she would not have pulled that trigger. All she had to do was get in that car, lock them doors, tell her baby daddy, let's go. Because allegedly, Carlos was holding on to Miss Meeks. He was holding her back and woo. Y'all could have got in the car and dipped. Y'all could have got in the car and left. Instead of running to the car and getting a weapon, that turns it into premeditation. Because you had time to think. Because it took time to go from here to here. Whether it's 30 seconds, 3 seconds, or 3 minutes. It took you time to go from here to that car, grab this weapon, come out, and go back to that person to do harm. That all takes time, and I'm pretty sure the prosecution will be looking at that. I am not an attorney, but my ass been in the courtrooms enough. I think I should be an honorary attorney. Like Harvard, hire your girl. Help me out. Give me some classes for free. I'll tell you some jokes. Giggle. Now I want to go to Brown University. No, not Brown. The other one is in Atlanta. I can't remember the name. Y'all call me universities. I need help. We can be lawyers together. If Kim Kardashian can do it, gosh darn it, I can too. I just got a picture of Ducky on my computer, so if you don't know who Ducky is, you'll find out. But in all sincerity, my condolences goes out to the Meeks-Blackmon family, because this mom has lost her daughter. This family has lost one of their leaders in the family, and this child has lost his mom, all over silly nonsense between 2 adult women, that was all between a man. It was all over a man. Let's be real. How many women fight? That's my man. That's my man. That's my man. I ain't fighting over no man. No. I have left the many of boyfriends because they said, you not going to fight for me? Hell no. What I like fighting for you for? I ain't finna lose this pretty face. In all of my years on this life, I have never had a black eye. I have never had a busted nose. And I likes to keep it that way. Like, I'm not playing. I want to stay pretty. Like, I'm kind of liking this face. I done grew into it, and I like it. So, I want to keep it pretty as can be. You know what I'm saying? So, no, I'm not fighting over no man. Now, if you put your hands on me, like Krishan had to rock those folks in LA, I just had to throw that in there like Krishan had to do in Compton. Now, that they hit Krishan, and Krishan smacked all 6 of them back. So I'm just saying, and didn't fall in heels, and shirt was still white and crispy, and hair was still looking good, and face and makeup still was looking good. So Krishan for the win. I'm just saying like that, like if you ain't putting your hands on me, we cool. But I'm not going to run into trying to fight a woman. I'm not over a man, because you don't know what pillow talk he's having, and you don't know what pillow talk she's having. You don't know what he's saying to each of these women. Because he obviously has to be saying something to one to make the other one want to fight and have these verbal disagreements online that now has ended up with someone losing their life. That's why I believe legislation needs to be passed more about these online situations, because this is becoming more and more frequent, where people are losing their lives due to online disagreements. And if it wasn't for an internet or just this online, you wouldn't even know this person. And a lot of times these incidents happen because they have people in common. Just like in this situation, Miss Johnson and Miss Meek had Carlos in common. So, what pillow talk was had to make Miss Johnson despise Miss Meek so bad that she had to go and get a pew-pew and allegedly a fist bump between Carlos and Miss Johnson was made. So, yeah. I'm waiting for this to go to trial. Miss Johnson goes back to court on December 24th of this year. So that'll be right before Christmas. And yeah, I might try to see that or get in the courtroom if I can, if they allow me. But I would like to follow this case and see how this goes and how the prosecution is really going to address this, because what would be defense? You can't say self-defense, because if it was self-defense, you wouldn't have ran to the car and went and got a weapon. You would have just ran to the car and stayed in the car if you were afraid. And then, again, just because you got to conceal a carry, that doesn't give you the right to harm someone. So, what do you think? Leave your comments below. I want to thank you for joining me today. Please like and subscribe and share. I want to thank everyone again for joining us. If you're new to this channel, I do true crimes, I do conspiracies, I do political, I do all types of things. And also I have a new members link where you can also join below, where you'll get off-screen content and you'll really get into the mind of mayhem. That's a place I don't even want to be. So please, everyone, go ahead and take a look. We will be doing content, and it'll be uploaded, and again, it'll be for members only, because some content I cannot put on regular YouTube without getting that little restrictions. So this is going to be a little restriction free, and you would have more of an intimate conversation with me. So again, please like and subscribe. Share. And again, thank you for joining me. And I'm going to end this podcast the way I end all my podcasts. If no one told you they love you, I do. I truly, truly do. Make sure you do better today than you did yesterday, and strive for a better tomorrow today. And I'll see you next time for the Mayday Mayhem podcast. I'm out.
You can call her Mayhem or Mayday. Talk shit, she at your head. I ain't talking bald face. She don't fuck with baby daddies, fucking up the feng shui. Taking care of 4 kids, Sunday to Sunday.